Hey there, all you beacons of light. It is Sunday and it's time for week 10 of our Creating Your Inner Temple 11-week free meditation series. And this week we've been focusing on the 6th chakra, the Anja Chakra, which is in charge of inner sight, insight, wisdom, intuition, clear vision. So this would be something like the seed thought is I see my truth, I see the divine truth, I see the reality. And so the idea is that it is symbolized by a lotus, but it has 2 petals. And we have 2 eyes, but the 6th chakra is referred to the 3rd eye. It's connected to the pineal gland, which has to do with all the hormones in our body, including the hormones of joy and expansion and ecstatic states of being that are triggered when our Kundalini rises, and we're able to see the inner and the outer world become balanced. So non-duality is balanced. So we see outside with 2 eyes, but we see inside with our inner eye. And so, for example, in the Bible, I believe it says something like, you must have one eye, to see the world with one eye in order to enter the kingdom of heaven. So it's the balancing of duality, yin yang, masculine, feminine, Shiva, Shakti, the inner and the outer. So when we balance those 2 worlds, the inner and the outer world, then a 3rd reality is born, which is our higher consciousness, our relationship to the reality beyond the material world or the physical world. So as the yogis explained, that Maya, this third dimensional world, this 3D world of materialism, it was represented by Indra's net, the spider net, and this net is the matrix of materiality, but behind it, right, as the physicists have been showing us, that everything is energy. And so we are learning to be in the web of the material world, but through the 6th chakra, our vision is raised so we can see the source of that material world, which is energy. And so it's interesting, like when you start looking at quantum physics and more specifically the science of fractals. I can't remember the name of the man who really developed and revealed fractals in all natural patterns, including the human form, and applied them to somatics, which is the patterns that vibration and sound rearrange matter into. So they started off with putting like sand on a metal plate, and then they would play different frequencies of sound, and then the vibration would move the matter into different shapes, and these shapes are consistent and they're reproducible and they're all throughout nature. And this is ancient cultures, Aboriginal cultures have known this. You see the recreation of the same image of the swirl or the flower of life repeated over and over again, because those are the foundations, the geometrical foundations produced in matter by vibration, or the sound frequency of creation. And so there was a reason why I was telling you all of this, is that the idea is that a lot of us think that, for example, the world is happening outside of us. And so, like subject-object, we see objects around us, and our subjective awareness sees objects. And so, what's really happening, right? That's in a dual perspective, a vision of duality. Like there's an inner and outer world. The world's happening to me, and so we've seemed to have lost our connection throughout time of our real relationship to the web of creation, which is this 3D matrix, like our real connection to it. So when we get to the 6th chakra and the Kundalini at the base of the spine, the feminine and masculine energy rise through the chakras and they come to the 6th chakra. And at this point they join and the unity consciousness is created. And so the idea is that the object and the subject are all rising in the same consciousness, because everything is just consciousness, right? Including us. So, this is why, they have a practice around the world of yogis going into dark retreats, dark meditation retreats, removing all of sensory input of the 5 senses, and this is the 6th chakra, which represents the 6th sense, which is thinking. Although we've become so identified with it, we actually think it's who we are. This ego consciousness has taken over. And so they go into these dark rooms for extended periods of time, a month. And when you remove all sensory input, including light, this is what triggers that 6th chakra to open, because there is a fundamental knowing and experience that the light does not come from outside. It's a illumined lamp, which is consciousness. So, this is the realization of the true self from the chakras below, which are all based on elements, except for the 5th chakra, which is air, Akash. But the earth chakra, the root chakra, the Muladhara chakra is earth. The 2nd chakra, the sacral chakra, is water. And then the 3rd chakra is fire. I lied. The 4th chakra is air, Anahata, and the 5th chakra is Akash, which is space. And so it's really interesting because all of those 4 elements, the 4 elements, exist inside of space. And when we uncover our correct relationship and balance with the elements, which is earth, right? Our bodies are made out of earth elements. We breathe in air. We also have a fire element in our body, which is action and heat. Like in the solar plexus, which is the furnace, which digests our food. It's also the pranic center of energy that distributes throughout our entire body. And then we also have water in our body, where they say 80% of your body is water. So it's all different levels of consciousness and intelligence, not particularly the intelligence that we give to the mind and the thoughts, the ability to think, that we give this supreme value. But the mind is made out of all the elements, the consciousness, the intelligence that is in the consciousness. So I think in the Upanishads it says it's not what the eye sees, it's that it can see. That is the miracle. So we are elemental biocomputers functioning in this world through energy in these flesh suits. And for many, this miraculous experience of being human is often overlooked. It is struggled through and suffered through. But you are walking elements, animated elements, doing the dance of life. And so I think that's pretty miraculous. You are doing the dance of creation. You are creation unfolding. As we saw last week, your throat chakra is the expression of what you're creating, and your thoughts and emotions are the vibrational technology that you use in order to shape your experience and your world in this holographic universe, which is amazing. And for many, this is not the perspective in which they're seeing the world. So, I believe part of my practice is sharing this experience and this practice of clearing out the old, outworn relationship to reality that is not accurate description of who we are. You know, if you think about, as I was mentioning, this cymatics, a study of sound and vibration, and that it actually organizes matter. Sound and vibration organize matter. Our voice is sound and vibration. And so we have the ability to create through our voice, create our lives through our voice. And there's something else I was going to tell you about that, which is sorry, it just flew out of my brain, but it was related to something about, it's amazing to watch these fractals producing what they call like branching out, growing through like vibration. And so in that way, you know, we are like a branch of a tree, like we are a organic geometric shape of the fractal, which is found all over nature. And so when you think about the flower of life, it's like we are the flower of life, grown through the patterns that are built into the elements, the intelligence of the elements, which is the perfect construction for the least amount of wear and like the most architecturally sound shapes, right? And Plato talked about the Platonic, what they call the Platonic solids now, the basic of all creation. And he lived thousands and thousands of years ago. And all of the chakras are symbolized as flowers, having different petals or sizes. Number of petals. And so, for each specific chakra. And so it's like these energy centers, which are not in the material world, but they're energetic, the energetic sources of life that inhabit our body. And so that's really what this creating your inner temple is about, is connecting consciously, bringing your presence intentionally to your organic body, which is created through the intelligence of the elements. When you bring that 0 point consciousness, the balance between two opposites, and you're in that no space, which is the sixth chakra is, the color is indigo, which is the color of vast space and nothingness, like the womb of all of creation. And you come to that 0 point where there is no thing, just pure presence, because presence is not a thing, it's a state of being. But because in our world we've become so materialized and so consumer orientated, we even want to objectify consciousness, and it is no thing. It's like God as a principle of creation. In the Jewish texts, they had no name for God because it was unnameable. It was the 4 letters, which are actually a shape, a geometrical shape, like the fundamental foundational geometrical shape, the tetrahedron, which is God. So it's amazing. It is amazing to me. All right, that's enough now. We're going to get into our meditation for our 6th chakra today, which, as I mentioned, I was all over the place. The seed sound, or the seed phrase is I see the divine blueprint. I see the divine truth. I see my connection to divine wisdom. I see and trust my intuition. All right, so let's go ahead and close our eyes and get into a comfortable position, as long as your spine is straight and your shoulders are relaxed. And let's take a moment to gently turn our attention within and take a couple of breaths, deep breaths through the nose and out the mouth, breathing all the way down to your belly, and then your ribs, and then your chest, filling up your entire core, and then releasing all the air. Let's do that 2 more times. Just allowing yourself to arrive in your seat, to arrive in your body. Just noticing your chair or the floor supporting you, letting your palms rest on your thighs, palms up or palms down, whatever is most comfortable for you. And I invite you to imagine that root chakra at the base of your spine, and dropping a grounding cord into the earth, through the floor, through the layers of the earth like a branch or roots going down, all the way through the layers of the earth to the crystal core and plugging in there. And then taking a minute to release anything you know do not need to be here today. Whether it's a thought or an emotion, a worry or concern, another person, just let them all just flow down your grounding cord into the earth. Mother Gaia regenerates, renews, and neutralizes all of your life energy and returns it to you refreshed, whole, and clean and ready to be repurposed. And I invite you to bring your inner temple into your mind's eye, your sixth chakra, which is the imagination, the ability to see with your mind's eye. And entering your temple and finding a place to make yourself comfortable. Sitting down in a relaxed place. Taking a moment to locate your altar. Perhaps there are candles or incense or some sort of offering that you would like to make as you call in your higher self today to meet you in your meditation practice today, the highest, wisest part of you. Inviting them into your temple, greeting them. Taking a moment to connect. And checking in to see if your higher self has any energy or gifts or messages to share with you today as we step into this meditation for the sixth chakra. I invite you to bring your attention to the third eye, which is right in the middle of your head, right behind the bindi point, the third eye, behind your brow, behind your eyes. And it's usually traditionally indigo color, the vast color of outer space. Outer space and inner space are the same color. Inky blue, vastness of consciousness. And as you pull this up in your mind's eye, I invite you to create an image of duality and perfect balance. So it could be the infinity symbol or the yin and the yang, whatever makes sense and brings harmony, a sense of harmony inside of you. Continuing to breathe. And today we're going to be clearing and activating this sixth chakra, the Ajna, third eye chakra of intuition, vision, wisdom, clarity, and any old and outworn beliefs or ideas you may have about using your own innate organic wisdom that arises in you as being connected to all of creation and the geometric shapes of creation and the wisdom that they contain, the intelligence of all the elements. The wisdom of your energetic body, your pranic body, your etheric body, your light body, all the different vehicles that have been explained in many different traditions, where we begin to lift the veils of density, which allow us to connect to our most intimate, truest nature as human beings, as infinite awareness incarnated. So I'm going to go through a series of releases and you can add your own at the end. If I miss any that are particularly true and alive for you around your vision and intuition and your ability to access clear knowing and wisdom. I now release any fear or belief about being the knower or the clear seer in my life. Breathing and releasing. I release any negative connections or interpretations around my intuition, my ability to see and intuit the truth, my confidence in my ability to know, to read the energy and the life around me through my energetic center of the sixth chakra. I release any guilt or shame. I release any inability to trust my own knowing. I invite in perfect balance of the feminine and masculine energies, the yin and the yang, the Shiva, the Shakti, the good and the bad, the light and the dark. Placing myself in the center, in the eye of all the movements, all the thinking, all the feeling in the eye of the storm. I am grounded. I am connected to my divine source, which is wisdom. I am not required to explain or reason or logic out my knowing to myself or others. I trust the sensations and emotions in my body as sources of information that are wanting to be received and heard and decoded for my best and highest good at all times. I now release any unconscious or unseen beliefs that may reside in my unconscious mind about trusting my intuition, valuing my own clarity and wisdom. I now release any unconscious contracts around permission and using my insight, my inner sight, my connection to the infinite source of wisdom. And now I invite you to take just a couple moments to take an inventory in your inner temple around that sixth energy center, noticing if there's any other blocks or beliefs, energies or sensations that can be released down through your body all the way down to that root chakra, back into the earth, to Mother Gaia. Releasing and letting go as you continue to breathe. And as we release any false vibration, contracts, agreements about our inner vision, take a moment to claim your inner sight. I am clear vision. I am divinely connected to the source of all wisdom. I am wisdom. I clearly see and understand my divine truth. I respect the divine truth of others, even if it's different than mine. I highly respect my ability to intuit, to source my life from the infinite imagination, releasing and letting go of all past imprints, being in the present moment, right here, right now, in the 0 point field of no thing. I am perfect balance. I am perfect vision. And then bringing your attention back to your inner temple, your higher self, taking a moment to thank your higher self for joining you here today, knowing that you can come back to this place throughout the days and the weeks to come, continuing this work through any of your chakras. Connecting to that inner wisdom and insight. And this inner space of the mind and the heart, known as you. Go ahead and bid your higher self farewell. Go ahead and drop that grounding cord back into Mother Gaia, where she will recycle and neutralize all of the energies you released today. Alchemizing, transmuting, and releasing what no longer serves you. And then taking one last look around your temple and your altar. Expressing a sense of gratitude for this time and this space that you took to spend with yourself, to spend with me. And remembering the true expanse of your consciousness and who you are, who you came here to be, and the fullness of your life. And when you're ready, you can bring your attention back into the room, wiggling your toes and your fingers, and when you're ready, opening your eyes. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I appreciate you taking the time out. And we have one more week next week, which is the last of the 11 weeks of the meditation series. And I can't believe it, but it's almost, the series is coming to an end next week. But the work continues, right? And now you hopefully have some more tools that you can use to continue to build your inner resource, this space that holds your consciousness intentionally, a place where you can bring your attention to your presence on purpose and continue to build that muscle. And when you continue to do this repeatedly, you begin to be able to house the fullness of who you are as you discover it, and it's so much more expansive than what we've been taught or told or allowed to believe. And so that's part of the reason why I offered this series as an offering to all of you. It's an incredible gift. It's a place to anchor your life from and to create your life from as your birthright. And so this has been my gift to you. I hope you've enjoyed it and benefited. I'm always happy to hear about your experiences or what you've uncovered in the process. So please feel free to private message me or put it in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. And until next time, please remember what a valuable treasure you are. All right. Until next time. Bye for now.